The first check I got, I blew it in one day. It was gone. I paid for like a photographer. I paid for a videographer. My friend asked me for some money. I gave her some. It was gone in one day. You got to catch up.
Right. So there was definitely a struggle at that point. So
because I made bad decisions with men. That's where it wasn't from my upbringing or my mom or I didn't have any love or I had a horrible childhood. No, I just had poor choices in men.
Right.
I didn't know the queen that I was. So I allowed them to treat me. When a man know he got a real queen, he ain't treating you no any type of way. You a jewel. He ain't treating you no any type of way. That's what my husband I got now. Oh, he knows I'm a queen and he treats me as such. And so I made poor decisions in men, and that's what messed me up a lot of times in my life. Even me moving to Atlanta, my husband at that time had a baby on me. So I moved to Atlanta.
While y'all was married?
Yeah, he had a baby on me. Yeah. And then I got broke. I remember being a girl I stole the girl car one time. Oh, y'all wanna hear some hood ghetto stories? I stole the girl car one time and drove it back to Atlanta. I took it.
Oh, you gangster.
I'm real gangster. Don't let this cute cardigan fool you. I took the car from him and drove it back to Atlanta. Because my car was in the shop. He was supposed to get the car at the shop. He spent all the money in our bank account. So I went and took the girl car and drove it back to Atlanta. I sure did. They had to figure out how to come down there and get it back.
I was about to say, how that story come to it?
They figured out how to come get it back, and he took it back. Yeah, because he spent all the money in our bank account. I couldn't get my car note wasn't even due. My car was in the shop, but he spent all our money. He said he had to back himself for the baby. And I'm like, I want you to take care of your baby, but don't go spend all our money in the bank account. Don't go spend every dollar we got. And that's what he did. And that's how I lost my car. And that was in 2015. That's how me and him broke up. He was my husband. We broke up over that whole situation.
Wow.
You gotta handle your business at your household. And take care of your kids. You gotta do both. I don't deal with no men if they ain't taking care of their kids. I don't believe. If any woman is looking at this and you with a man and you know he ain't taking care of his kids, shame on you as a woman. I'm not getting with no man and I know for a fact he don't take care of his kids and he can. I'm not getting with no man like I'm a queen. I'm not getting with no man who don't take care of their kids. That's crazy to me. I'm not sleeping with you. I damn sure I ain't sucking and I know. Don't even take care of your kids. You don't deserve this mouth. No, thank you.
Yeah, you validating his behavior.
Exactly. That ain't no queen stuff right there. Any man I get with, you gotta take care of your kids. So I wanted him to take care of his kid, but don't spend all my money crazy. I mind you spending some. You is my man, but don't spend all. He spent the whole account was empty.
Wow.
It was empty because he was my husband, and I only was using his account because mind you, I had got broke. I ain't had no bank account no more. So your Groupon money can only be direct deposited. I had messed up all my accounts. I ain't had none, so I had to go. Listen up, everybody. I would not put my money in a man account, okay? But he was my husband, and I couldn't get no bank account, and that's how I ended up putting it in his. He went and got the new account, and I put my money in his account, so he had access to it. But he wasn't spending it like that until we went to Memphis that weekend for Christmas, and that's what happened with the money, and that's how we broke up in 2015.
Wow.
So I lost my husband, and I lost my car. So that was a mess. I ain't have a car for almost 2 years. I didn't get a car till the end of 2017. That's when I started making money. That's when I started doing like maybe 20, 30K months in 2017.
How was you operating without a car?
So it's so funny. I don't know if you know Johnny Blaze on Instagram. I don't know what her name is now. Johnny. So we live in Atlanta. I was new there. There used to be a lot of events, and so when I go places, I would meet a lot of people. I met these two gay dudes at the event, and we just started hanging out, going to all these, because they was big on YouTube. So we met, we was hanging out, we was going out to events. And so one of their cars, when they get repo, they had to hide it. My house had a garage. They were like, Candace, I was like, can I just drive it? I drove the car it was a nice car. I drove it for months until they came and asked for it back because they got ready to move back wherever they was from because they had got broke too. And so I drove their car for months. When they came and got the car back, I started Ubering then. So I was just Ubering everywhere I went. And then I started getting business credit in 2017. And that's what bumped me up to be in a position to make millions of dollars. I would have still probably been doing I'm sure I would have still been doing like 20K months if I would have never did this other stuff, but I got that business credit, and that's how I ended up making $1 million.
That business credit changed everything.
I had more money to do things.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first check I got, I blew it in one day. It was gone. I paid for like a photographer, I paid for a videographer, my friend asked me for some money. I gave her some, it was gone in one day. You gotta catch up. So when you get a big, you know how when people get income tax, they be talking about them. Don't talk about, them people ain't had that much money all year. You think it's gonna last? They ain't had no money all year long, so they got to catch up for everything they missed. And so when I got that money, it was the same situation. I got to catch up on everything that I had missed. So it was gone in one day. I remember I got some more. It probably was gone in about 4 days. I got some more. And then, of course, it started getting bigger, so I couldn't spend it all in 1 day or 4 days.
Right.
Because it started getting, like, eventually big amounts. And it really, really, like, blew my brain up. I was able to do, like, really, really exceptional in the spa game because I had that money to pay for whatever I wanted to pay for.
Right.
And then I started doing events.
Right. So the events came right after that.
Yeah. Well, I actually did my first event in 2016. I remember I was broke. We did the event in a hotel room, and I remember the last day I was crying really bad. And we was doing some type of exercise, so it made you cry anyway, whatever the exercise was. But I can't remember. I think we was doing like chakra balancing or something. I can't remember. But I remember I was crying really bad, and so they were just asking everybody, why they crying, what's what. And I remember that day, 2016, at the event, when it was my turn to ask me why I was crying, I said, I am crying. Like, I got to go back to my regular life. I got to go back to no car. I got to go back to this house that I hate. I got to go back and try to hustle and figure this thing out. But that was my event that day that I was sitting in. It was amazing. But that last day, doing the exercise, I remember I was just crying really bad. So that's why I created a life that I don't have to cry about. I don't have to run away from my life. If I go home, my house is beautiful, it's big, it's clean. I'm happy. If I come to Houston, I can stay at a nice hotel, I can eat good food. So it don't matter where I'm at, I can be happy and I don't have to be crying about my life. So I have to hustle like this and grind like this and have things in play because I never want to go back to my old life. It's not for me.
Understood.
I can't go back there. It's horrible.
Break!